Well, we've kicked a decent amount of ass so far, and now we're getting a bit of an upgrade. Our stats all went from 70 to 100, which means that technique we bought earlier that allows us to create ice balls in the middle of a mission to heal is something we can actually use now. I'm not too sure if this is the style of game that really needs any kind of leveling up system. Not that it explicitly calls it that. Still, we can go back to previous missions with our enhanced speed, striking power, and health to potentially get better scores than when we first did them in the first place. So, yeah, it certainly feels like leveling up to me. Again, appearance-wise, I have no clue what we're buying until we actually start trying them on after purchasing them. But I'm fairly certain that most of the ears and most of the gloves that we've bought were a waste of money. Which of course just highlights how meaningless as a whole money is in this game. Anyway, since our character has become more powerful, I may as well change her appearance up a bit. After all, she's become a higher level of ninja, even if the game isn't really doing anything to highlight that other than the stats change. I really wish the menus weren't so damn sensitive to my thumbstick movements. Not a very major change, but hey, it's got to count for something. Enough hairstyling and trying on new gloves for now. Let's get on with the next mission. Purge the foreigners, huh? On the one hand, there's a bit of awkward thing here, since, well, I'd certainly be a foreigner if I ever came to Japan. On the other hand, Europe was not kind to its trade partners or colonies for quite a while. So the less you have to deal with them, the better in this time period. Ah, slave traders, huh? That's a good way to remove any possible sympathy. Certainly easier for me to feel eager to take them down than if they were just more arms dealers when the entire country has been at war for around 100 years. Is this guy supposed to be Dutch, Portuguese, or British? Not that it really matters all that much. Either way, he's a non-Japanese person trying to grab and sell Japanese people. If there was a time to justify sending out a bloodthirsty ninja to kill pretty much everyone involved, this is it. Well, this and explicitly entering a hostile nation's territory to do some sabotage and assassination. Not that the drug and arms dealers we dealt with earlier in the game were especially sympathetic, just that in the Sengoku period, somehow those two kinds of enemies feel a bit more reasonable. The nation is in a constant state of war because each province feels they are their own nation. People who could die at any time due to war or disease, I'm pretty sure, might want to grab either weapons for themselves or just drug themselves into a stupor. So, yeah. Kind of surprised that we aren't seeing more foreigners on patrol out here. We know they have more than just the one sprite for foreigners, but then I suppose the easiest way to gain Japanese slaves is for Japanese people from a rivaling faction to supply them. That's certainly how it worked in Africa back when the slave trade was still a thing. I was kind of expecting this far into the game that we weren't more dangerous enemies than the sort we ran into for the first mission. Right, so I'm starting to see sprites other than just the basic samurai. No sailors, though. Ah, never mind. There's one right there. Probably not the best time to jump that guy. Hell, we probably should have gone after the sailor in the first place. Hello there! Didn't think you were standing in that spot. Certainly not one of my better showings in a mission, but hey, we're attacking the harbor in the middle of the day. What even prompted that bit of smelling us there? That was a bit awkward. Okay, I get that the blood of the previous guy's sticking to us now, but we got smelled out by the previous guy when we had a smooth batch of assassinations before then, so yeah, it's probably a bit late in the game for me to feel baffled by that sort of thing, but still. Well, we may not have gotten to our main target undetected, but we certainly got a good number of assassinations in, considering this is broad daylight. Seriously, there's a reason that ninjas generally work at night, so there are more shadows to work with. The guy moves a bit erratically. Part of me wants to say this is possibly because foreigners in this game aren't allowed to be great with swords. But then, to be fair, this guy is supposed to be an absolute fop, and he's moving about the same way that the usual merchant guy that we kill ends up moving. Spotted 3 times, and we're still on Ninja 5. I can't help find it funny that one of the missions I enjoyed the most so far, I got a Ninja 2 on, and everything else so far has been a 5 regardless of my feelings for it. Anyway, what's next on the agenda? Another monk to kill, huh? Well, better gambling than rape and various other bits of bullshittery. Just what were the donations given to the temple for, anyway? Replacing rotting boards? Fixing broken stone on the walls or something? I mean, sure, him spending donated money on his own personal gambling is a bit of an asshole move. But do we really have nothing before we escalate things to execution around here? I know they only send us out when people need to die at some point, but still, there has to be some possible responses between ignore them and assassinate them. But then that's easy for me to say when I'm not doing something like Shogun Total War where I actually run a frickin' I just go where they tell us to go, kill whoever is there that happens to be a combatant or our main target, and then leave. So long as the Goda clan has people to kill, we still got a job. But then I suppose the word job isn't going to be used for something like this during this period of history. Hell, this game takes place during the Sengoku period of Japan, which takes place before my home country was even formed. I don't really have a history book handy right now, and I'm not really able to double-check online just yet, due to some background ridiculousness. But did England even start setting up the 13 colonies this early in the 1600s? I know, probably not relevant to the fact that I'm currently a swordswoman in Sengoku, Japan, just slaughtering various people left and right in another kind of nothing mission. It's just a random thing that popped into my head as we're going through this mission, where we're going through some very familiar ground and killing some very familiar looking people. I kinda need something to distract myself a bit. I'm pretty sure that should take care of everyone on the perimeter. And of course, I managed to get caught just as we get away from the wall there. Oh well, it's easy enough to evade these guys, and it's not like we strictly have to brawl with them. Well, maybe not the most honorable way to get the job done, but to be fair, we're a ninja. The most important thing is that we caught the guy we were sent here for, and we were alive to come back and report a successful mission. We only got spotted once, so I don't really have anything against that Ninja 5 rating. So let's go on to the next one. Does the silencer have any connection with the closer? Not that I'm a fan of that cop show, just something I remember my mother watching at one point. Ah, killing an entire village full of enemy agents. That should be up my alley. Shame that it's going to end up blurring together with the vast majority of the missions we're doing so far. "20 people, huh? That seems like a manageable number to me, especially since we've done this map a good number of times already. Especially since they seem pretty clustered together to start off with." But clearly not clustered enough to actually support one another all that well. Just how many people would actually live in a village this small, anyway? I'm pretty sure it would be able to fit more than 20 people at the very least. But then it's not like I know how well fed the locals might have been. It's not like we've seen all that much farmland or livestock where we've been going in mission to mission. Sorry, I don't think the local spirits are going to help you all that much, lady. If anything, I think you're dealing with a lady that's been empowered by a Shinigami. At least I think that's the Japanese word for death spirits. As a side note, I just checked the dates to see when the first colonies started forming in North America, and that was in 1607 with Chesapeake Bay. Japan's Sengoku period ended in 1615, at least according to Wikipedia. So, yeah, definitely long before the United States became a thing. Just a random little factoid I felt the need to learn as we slaughter these poor bastards. Anyway, we're halfway to the end of the mission, and we're certainly going to have plenty of time for another mission after this. Well, we certainly seem to have cleared this part of the village. Wonder how long it would have taken that poor pastor to realize everyone on this side of the bridge is dead. I'm sure that would have made him shit his robes. Not that the AI in this game is advanced enough to let the characters get steadily more nervous as things go on. Again, that was something that was only really going to become a thing for the Batman Arkham games. And while 3 of those 4 games were released on the same console generation as this game, It's very much unfair to compare this ninja game with the Batman games. It's still fun for what it is, though. And then there were 3. Killed him just before he noticed the body there. A clean sweep without being noticed once. I'm certainly satisfied with that. It's almost a shame that it's not the last mission of the clip, considering that certainly felt like a satisfying way to end things. Yeah, may as well burn our cash on this. Right, let's just see what we've bought. You know, the priestess stuff looks kinda nice. Not really sure what kind of look I'm overall aiming for. I'm not really a fashion person in general, much less all that good at fashion from over 400 years ago. Right, another mission against some documents. I'm sorry, what agent did we find? We certainly didn't have to find him in the previous mission, that's for sure. Seriously, we should not be getting mission briefings that imply we did a mission we didn't actually go through as a setup for what we're about to do now. Not with the sheer number of nothing missions there are in this game. I swear, we always find someone in that exact same spot every time we come to this map. Sure, it's never someone critical, but still, bit of a bad sign that they're repeating themselves that much 22 missions into the game. We haven't even gotten to the halfway point yet, at least in terms of the missions we've completed. Who knows, this might be the halfway point in terms of how much time we've spent in the game. It's not like I'm checking how long or short the various missions are until we've gotten through them, and then I immediately forget the stuff that we've already done. And I am certainly not tired enough in this game to start begging for it to be over yet. Possibly because I've taken some unexpected breaks during this LP, because I started Let's Playing this one as a break from another game I was feeling pretty worn down by. I know I said it before, but the sword really doesn't get stabbed in like the animation would like. I probably wouldn't have as much of an issue with the various wall assassinations looking a bit off if it wasn't for the fact that all the others certainly look pretty damn good. Though I suppose that sideways slash to the neck should decapitate someone, but then it's probably extremely unfair to ask for a game with such rushed animations. They couldn't even bother letting the characters' mouths move when talking to pay more attention to that sort of visual detail. Definitely should have been seen right there. Not that I know where the other person was looking from. I'm probably not taking as much time to check where all the enemies are as I probably should. But we've been reasonably successful anyway. Another job done, another Ninja 5 rating.